Hey, this is Sam Black with my second match with this Abzan Green Devotion Constellation deck. I'm on the play with a little iffy hand, but I'm going to keep it. I have my colors in my early game, and I generally like to just try to draw into something from there with these decks. Freak is sort of like a real card. A good start. To decide which mana guy to play, and I guess because I drew the Courser, I'm going to play the Caryatid. If I hadn't drawn the Courser, I'd play the Voyaging Satyr, so that I can attack with it while playing Caryatid and get a point in, or while playing Freaka. And I want it to die because I have a mana-heavy hand. But because I drew Courser, I know that I want this to live so that I can play Courser before playing a land to try to get that free card, like that. That was a good sequence. Mantis Rider, that's fine. Lucranos is good. I can't cast Freaka and Voyaging Satyr and keep Lucranos on top. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 devotion. So Freaka won't be on. I think I really need that Lucranos. So I think I'm actually going to cast Voyaging Satyr. And just play Sandstep Citadel. Could play a not sack Windswept Heath, but I think I'd rather get the tap land out of the way rather than setting up the shuffle. And obviously I can't attack. Another Mantis Rider. Alright, let's play this from the top. And now I can play Lucranos. And then... wait, if I Nykthos for 4... and then, I'm pretty sure I can play Pellucranos and see the Unwritten this turn. So if I Nykthos for 4, and then play Pellucranos, and then untap Nykthos, and then use Nykthos again for 6, that casts it. I think that's the best way I can do. If I play Pellucranos before using Nykthos, I have to use my Voyaging Satyr on the Nykthos, or to use the Nykthos, so I don't get to do it the good way. So I have to do one of these first. Now I untap Nykthos. Make mana. And see the Unwritten. Let's make this a little bigger and see if we can actually figure out what the options are here. So I can Eidolon and Doomwake, or I can Whisperwood. I think with Freaka involved, I probably want to Eidolon and Doomwake. I have a lot of mana, I'd like to draw more cards. And I do think I want to Doomwake away the Seeker and be able to attack this turn and get closer to Doomwaking away the Mantis Riders. I could just draw a lot of cards with 2 Eidolons, but I think Doomwake's better. Attack with the Courser. And I don't see any reason not to play the Elvish Mystic. Alright, and now the great thing about this is see the Unwritten put a ton of creatures in my graveyard, which is going to work out really well for this Pharika. Trying to figure out if I want to just Nykthos now so that I don't need to worry about green mana. I think I likely, well, no, I can use the, I can get one more green devotion first and might as well. Alright, that was sweet. Alright, let's assume that I want Plummet and Arbor Colossus to deal with those Mantis Riders. And then figure out the other changes from there. I think Sabretooth is relatively easy for my opponent to kill. Doomwake actually felt pretty good. Doomwake lives through Roast, and it lives through Stoke. I think Whisperwood's actually the odd 5 out here. It's good, but I think my opponent's going to be killing my creatures one at a time a lot, and I just don't think Whisperwood's going to be as great as it often is. If I knew for a fact that my opponent had 4 Stormbreaths, I might want Ultimate Price, but I think that I'd rather, given what I've seen, just lean on Plummet and Arbor Colossus to answer flyers, and I don't think I'm very worried about being able to kill a Seeker of the Way or something. Nylea's Disciple is a consideration, but it's also just a creature that dies pretty easily. I think I'm gonna go like this. It's kind of nice that it's nice that See the Unwritten can't be countered by a Jitai's Command. I don't have black for Pharika, but other than that, this hand's pretty good. And Pharika obviously isn't an early game card. So I believe this is the only Whisperwood in my deck right now. And there's black. Doesn't have mana to counter anything here. So let's just play Pelucranos, which is moderately likely to get Valorous stanced, but I'm pretty okay with that, I guess. And it didn't. That's cool. First gain 5, whatever. Let's not let that resolve. 2 creatures in my graveyard that I can turn into snakes. Let's plan to make a snake and just attack with this See the Unwritten. Alright, it seems like both of us are basically out of stuff at this point. But my opponent just hit blue mana, which means I might start dying to Mantis Riders. I'm going to leave this Whisperwood in the graveyard, in case I draw a Constellation thing. Was a weird block. Clearly my opponent assumed that it was nothing because I hadn't been flipping it, but I don't know why you'd want to trade the Soulfire for nothing at this point when you have a bunch of mana and you're just taking 2 and are at more than 20 life. The Soulfire is likely to buy something back. Oh. Still don't think it's worth it. Farika, so I guess I have to make a snake now. Doesn't buy back the Revoke. I think if you don't want to buy it back now, it's better to just cast it later. Don't really know why you'd be in a hurry to cast the Revoke. This is not great. I guess I attack with 1 snake. This for only 1 thing. Not likely to be great. Isn't great. Take a Eidolon. That's not the worst. Oh well. I assume Adruta's command is getting cast based on the aggressive Soulfire block. Oh, Tragic Arrogance. That's terrible too. I died of the Mantis Rider. Alright, so what do I want to do differently? definitely felt like I need more high impact stuff. I should probably trim a couple mana guys and add I guess Whisperwood is maybe, well, Whisperwood versus Genesis Hydra is kind of close. Maybe Doomwake is not where I want to be. Oh, it lives through Roast and stuff. That's probably good. Kind of like the idea of Genesis Hydra, just trying to figure out the best way to get it in. Maybe my opponent's good enough at killing my guys that I can't count on See the Unwritten to hit 2 things, and Genesis Hydra will be 2 things. Plus my opponent might have some access to counter spells. Alright, let's go that way. The command thing's kind of real. Not sure, but I'm going to do this. This is fine. It's not fast, but I have, I don't necessarily want a lot of mana guys, so having none is fine, and I have Plummet to deal with a Mantis Rider. I don't love the approach where I take a bunch of pain, but I kind of want to hold this fetch in case I want to get white mana with it, and because it gives me a fetch with Courser. I think drawing that's fine. Trying to decide if I want to play the fetch here. I think I do. Maybe I don't want to draw this. I don't know. We'll see. I think if my Courser's dying, I don't want to draw this, but if my Courser's living, then I value having the fetch more than I value shuffling. If it didn't cost me a shuffle, I would shuffle for free here. But if the shuffle's going to be valuable, then I don't want to. Put my guy on top. That seems fine. Let's see. I guess I know that Caryatid's going to be under it, which means there won't be land on top. So I want to shuffle now to not have to take another pain and still get a rebuy to get the free land. And I'm going to end up with that free land. I could just resolve Doomwake here, but free is free. I think I want the free land. That's fine. So now I do like attack with just the Doomwake. If I attack with the Elf and my opponent blocks, then I can Freaka and kill the Soulfire, but a lot could go wrong. My opponent could like Jeskai Charm my Doomwake Giant, or counter the Freaka or something, and then I'd just be down an Elf. These elves aren't very valuable. I'd kind of prefer they were creatures that I could Freaka. Get Freaka down. And obviously I'm going to plan to plummet the Jutai when it attacks. Dig in response. Looking for Valorous Stance, I assume. Interesting. I think after a dig, it's way too likely that something horrible is going to happen, and I should not cast this Doomwake. Tragic Arrogance seems high on the list of cards my opponent would be looking for. There are Jutai. Start by bashing with Doomwake. And now let's try to kill Jutai. Double Doomwake, make a snake, double Doomwake. That was fine. Okay. Killed all my guys. Invoke Freaka. Let's make a snake. I only just now remembered that Freaka could be getting my opponent's graveyard, which I either forgot to do at some point to stop a Soulfire Grandmaster last game, or might have been something that explained some of my opponent's plays. I'm not really sure. Dig. That could win the game here. That's not as scary. That's not great for me. That is the kind of thing we wanted to see, though. That's bad. I believe that was counter draw. Yep. Might as well attack with the elf. Never know. Might get a damage in. Yeah, fair enough. And now my opponent gets to dig. This game has probably fallen out of reach. I don't know, let's hit Jace for a point. Stop rebuy into rebuy. Oh wait, this has no power. Wonder why my opponent didn't block, knowing that Jace had given it no power. Stands my blue Chronos. Well, I guess that's better for me than dig happening. This matchup feels very bad, despite having some answers to these flyers. My opponent's just really well set up to deal with what I'm doing. Let's attack Jace again. And then put this Whisperwood. Anger of the Gods and End Hostilities, or Tragic Arrogance rather, make it really hard for me to meaningfully get ahead, and then my opponent just has much cheaper answers to my much more expensive cards and a ton of very real card advantage. There's really just no axis I'm winning on, especially with Revoke in the mix to answer my couple things that can live through the other stuff. Manifested Blue Chronos. That's kind of a start to something or other. Elvish Mystic was the target by Jace. I wonder if that means these things are getting killed. That's not good. We get to manifest, but I don't have the mana to flip blue Chronos. Maybe my opponent will let me keep Elvish Mystic instead of getting 2 mana flash. That play would be right. Let me keep, yep. It all makes sense now. Yeah, neither of these have power. This likely isn't going to do anything important, but certainly doesn't help in my hand. I definitely can't win from here. That's match.